up, homies? It's your boy Stev. Joined this week again by my fave co-host, Ash.
Hi.
And this week we're talking about um, a movie that I chose. So it's a Kevin Smith movie from, I want to say 2010. I really should have looked that up. I want to say it was 2010, I'm pretty sure. And it's not even necessarily my favorite Kevin Smith movie, but it's a movie that not a lot of people talk about when they talk about his filmography. And I think they should. I think it's a really important movie for him. We're talking about the horror movie Red State. Ashley, what did you think?
This movie was horrible.
You didn't like it?
What would I like? There was barely any. Okay. It was great. First off, I didn't even know Kevin Smith. I had to actually double check on Wikipedia that Kevin Smith made this.
Yeah.
Because we met Kevin Smith.
Oh, yeah.
This is not a movie I was expecting.
No, and that's why I think it's so important. So we went and saw Clerks 3 together.
Yep.
Fucking awesome movie. That's a movie that really could be on this list because a lot of people aren't talking about that movie either, which they really should be. He does Mallrats, which is my personal favorite Kevin Smith movie. I'm a big fan of it. But yeah, then there's just, at some point, he decides, you know what, I'm going to start doing horror movies. And there's no fucking humor in this movie.
None.
There's the slightest bit. If there's any humor, it's the slightest bit. But it's very, dark. And I think it's a pretty solid movie, personally.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
see where it was going. There's a turn about halfway where they introduce a new main character and you're like, oh, what the fuck? And then from there on, I was like, oh, this is just super interesting to me.
Yeah, okay.
So for those who haven't seen the movie, it's about these three boys who they're just the horny teenagers, and they find some ad on Craigslist or some internet site where there's this woman that was willing to have sex with them. So they decide to go to her trailer, and they end up getting drugged. And it turns out that she's a part of a doomsday cult, and they are killing sinners, and that's kind of their thing. So these three boys get tied up, and it's pretty much them kind of trying to survive. And it's so the leader of the pack is the father of this cult, is played by Michael Parks, who was amazing in movies in a lot of pretty much Tarantino movies. He was in From Dusk Till Dawn. He was really great as Earl McGraw. Actually, he's really great as Earl McGraw in From Dusk Till Dawn, Kill Bill. He's in Planet Terror and
He was in
Death
Kill
Proof.
Bill?
He was, for a split second, playing the same role as Earl McGraw, where he just kind of shows up at the beginning after she gets beat up, and she's on the ground, and then the police show up to
Yeah, with the glasses, all the sunglasses in the car.
So that's him. So he shows up, and he's she's not dead. And then
That's an amazing movie.
That's an amazing movie.
I fucking love those.
I love that movie too.
We got to do an episode on those
We'd
two.
have to do both of them at the same time.
Exactly,
right? And
always.
then put them against each other.
I thought just talk about
which one's better. Anyway, that's another.
There's an obvious answer though.
Is there?
Oh.
We'll talk about it. But so his son is also in Kill Bill. He's the other police officer playing his son.
That's funny.
So it's Michael Parks and James Parks, I believe his name is. In this, he's also in the movie playing his son, which I find super fucking interesting. Actually, a lot of the characters, a lot of the cult members, I don't know why I did quotations. They are cult members, I feel like. But nobody even saw me do air quotes. So I don't know why I brought it up. But anyway, a lot of the cult members are actually played by the family of main characters. So Michael Parks' son plays one of the lead guys. Kevin Smith's wife plays one of the women. The director of photography's child is one of the children. You know what I mean? The movie had I want to say a $4 million budget. It's super. Mm-hmm. It's pretty small.
Yep.
But it looks like a $4 million movie. It's not
you didn't even have anything. You had one building.
Pretty much, for the most part. So it kind of made a lot of sense. But I don't know. I think it's a pretty solid movie for what they did.
Yeah, it was okay. I just didn't understand. I don't know. Like, there was way too much in the middle about the church.
Yeah.
And there was a point when I'm just watching this guy preach for like 20 minutes and I'm like, what are we even talking about anymore? And then the whole, like, I'm not spoiling anything, but the whole ending, like, part, just another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
All of that could have been 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Okay.
So that's my opinion. I do enjoy the beginning part. I thought it was perfect.
Okay.
Like the boys going to her trailer. And
Yeah.
that is really what I would have thought what should happen.
Yeah. And it does a really good job
Like
to set.
filming and timing wise.
Yeah, yeah. Pacing wise, I hear you.
Exactly.
I do, and they do a great job to set up this cult. They're like driving to school, and the cult's like protesting like a funeral or something.
Yeah, and the guy is dead, and they're like posters and stuff, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, the guy is dead. What the fuck do you care?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like so it's actually based off of an actual family called the Phelps family. And they do the same thing where they go to like soldiers' funerals that are gay and they like protest it and stuff. And it's like,
That's
what the
so
fuck is wrong with you?
horrible.
But like, so Kevin Smith, so these people protest. So when he made Dogma,
Okay.
these people protested his movie Dogma. So he kind of like knew of them because of that. So then that's why he's like always had that idea. It's like, you know, what if they took it just a step further? You know what I mean? Where it's like they just went that extra step where they kill people that are like that. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like the idea for
I
the movie.
actually want to say there might be a Netflix show about this family.
Very possible.
I actually want to say the last name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And I watch those weird shows like that.
me too.
Interesting.
This also had another weird. This was another weird thing for Kevin Smith. This was a definite. This wasn't just a turn, tonally, like for his career. There was also a weird thing where he there was like a distribution issue where they like played the movie at a film festival and then they like held a meeting for distributors to like auction the movie off, and he purposely held this meeting with like a bunch of people, like an audience full of people, and he sold the movie to himself. And it was like this weird slap in the face that got him a lot of flack.
What was the point of him putting it in there?
And that's it. Like, why hold this meeting? It was just like a weird publicity stunt, I guess. But, and then after that, he just, I don't know, he had like a weird couple of years where like, I don't know if he just, I don't know.
Maybe he met them and he just realized that none of them deserved it.
He kind of said that like he was always planning on doing it and like, well, you should be happy you got to see a movie and stuff. But
Don't waste my time if I'm here to do something.
and that's it.
You know how mad I would have been?
Right.
Because I'll never give him the time of day again.
And that was kind of what happened, right? So like, and it would make sense why he switched to like horror movies. Like you could tell that just something wasn't working anymore. Because like before that, I want to see the movie right before that. He does Cop Out, which
I don't even know what that is.
it's so okay. So he does a couple of movies, right? He does like Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, and they're like
Okay.
amazing. They're very fucking good movies. And then he does Dogma, which is equally as amazing. Does Jason Bob Strike Back, equally as amazing. Clerks 2.
That's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, they're all great.
Well, favorites of his.
Excuse me. And then he does.
Put that in my hand. Put that shit
In
my
my
hand.
hand.
If that money doesn't show, oh me, oh. Yeah, I love that movie.
So then he does Jersey Girl, which is the first movie that didn't have Jane Silent Bob in it, and it kind of bombs.
Okay.
And he was like expecting that to be like the first movie that like
Steers him away from.
right. So
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, well that didn't work. So then he does Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Which is a great movie.
I think it's a great movie too, but the problem is
That's with Seth Rogen or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and-
that's a good movie.
so the problem with that is so Judd Apatow comes out at some point, and Judd Apatow is doing movies like The 40-Year-Old Virgin. He's doing Knocked Up, Funny People, and these movies are making $100 million. They're making like
Sorry, I gotta move. Yeah.
you're all right, but they're making money, and all of Kevin Smith his movies don't make money at the box office. He's like the most he's ever made is like $40 million, like not a lot of money. So when he made Zack and Miri Make a Porno, he made it with all of Judd Apatow's people. And like he's like with the expectation, like, oh, I'm making a Judd Apatow movie, I'm gonna make all this money, and it does the same as all of his other movies. And I think so then he like, it kind of fucks him up, I think.
But that movie wasn't memorable. I don't even remember really. I could tell you everything about 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah.
I could tell you everything about Knocked Up.
Yeah.
About all of those. There's a difference.
It's true.
40-Year-Old Virgin, I bet you I can tell you half of the movie. That movie's amazing.
Movie, yeah.
But yet I can't picture any scene from Zack and Mary Make a Porno. I just know that I like it.
Yeah, I like it. I've seen it a couple times. I could probably picture a couple of scenes, but so
Knocked Up with all the guys living in the house. Like, it's perfect. Like, that movie is great.
that movie's fucking awesome. So then after that, he goes into a crazy depression because he's like, I'm never gonna make a good movie in quotation.
Imagine how you would feel though.
Right? It's like, but it's the thing. He's doing the thing about Kevin Smith, which he's realized recently is his movies are amazing for like DVD and Blu-ray. That's where he makes any movie he's ever made has made more than its budget back on Blu-ray or DVD. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, and then
even you have bobbleheads. And
I have
stuff.
a lot, yeah. So like he recently did like Jay and Silent Bob reboot, which was like I think a $3 million movie, maybe $5 million movie, and he made it back during the tour, and then they sold fucking gangbusters amount of like Blu-rays to the point where the people who made the Blu-ray, who like distributed the movie, was like, dude, if you could keep doing that, I'll fucking gladly keep giving you $5 million, like to just go keep making movies. You see what I'm saying? So I think he's recently realized that, but after Zack and Mary Make a Porno, he kind of had this like, what the fuck am I doing with my life kind of thing. So then somebody offers him a movie that wasn't written by him. Like, listen, we need a director. We got some other guy who wrote it. It's got Bruce Willis in it. Do you want to do it? And he's like, yeah, all right. So he does it. Another movie. I want to say it makes all right money, but like nothing crazy. So I think he's like...
What was that movie called?
That's Cop Out. So the movie was called initially A Couple of Dicks, which I thought was it's a better title, if you ask me. But for obvious reasons, like, no, we got to change it. So that's why I changed it to Cop Out, which I think is actually a funny title. So I think he was still going through this weird crisis of faith, for lack of a better term. So when he makes Red State, I'm like, this is him being like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do the exact opposite. I'm going to do something so fucking different from anything I've ever done. And
which didn't work. Again.
It's true, but I like it. I think it's a good...
Better than his actual movies?
No.
Yeah, no, okay.
But I think it's a solid horror movie that we should be talking about. I think it's good enough that like if people were like, I don't know, like top 20 horror movies in the last, I'm trying to think. I want to say it's 2010. We'll say since the early 2000s.
I want to say 2011. 2011 is in my head.
Yeah, I want to say you could be right. It could be 2010, 2011. I want to say you could be right, 2011. But like, let's just say top horror movies in the last 15 years. I feel like it could be on there.
Why? I don't get it.
I think it's solid. We'll get into more spoilers.
Yeah.
The second John Goodman gets involved, I'm like, this movie gets fucking interesting.
Okay.
Like, it is pretty solid, like you said. The setup is really solid. There's a particular scene with the kid in the cage where I'm like, this is fucking crazy. And then John Goodman gets involved. I'm like, this movie's fucking awesome to me. I don't know. I think it's good. But anyway, all right. We'll rate it before we go to spoilers.
Yeah, I don't really have anything. I can try.
All right, I'll give it a rating first. Is
it just overall?
Yeah, just overall. So I'm not going to give it a super high score. I'm going to give it a 7. I think it's a good enough to warrant a 7 personally.
Okay, so
which is pretty good.
I won't rewatch it. I think it was a one and done for me.
Yeah.
There are definitely some, and I don't get squeamish ever. I'm not really that kind of person. There was one part where I kind of went, oh no. And it kind of made me a little iffy to watch because of that. I'll give it like a 4.
Okay.
I'll give it a 4.
I was expecting a 4.
No, I'm not going to rewatch it. I did it once. I didn't really care I don't even remember any of their names. Like nothing was...
I remember Billy Ray.
Like nothing in that movie was like, oh yeah, that movie is good for... Like nothing. I could think of 100 million movies just like it. It gave off like Freebird, Devil's Rejects kind of feeling.
Yeah.
But it didn't do it. I don't know.
Actually, almost like House of a Thousand Corpses a little bit.
I've never seen it.
We've seen House of a Thousand Corpses. We watched it together.
Did we?
Never mind.
What?
Yeah, we did.
We got to talk about that then, because I don't remember that.
Without spoiling anything, it might be an episode that's coming out real soon.
Oh, we watched it. We watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was them at the... Yeah, we'll talk. Because it was the carnival scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how memorable that was.
All right.
I just love Devil's Rejects.
Devil's Rejects is
That's a
fucking
great...
awesome movie.
I can tell you half of that movie. Let's talk about that movie.
All right. Next to spoilers.
Yeah, and they have a fight in the house, and they're shooting in the house. Right? They have a shootout in the house in the Thousand Corpses. And the mom is invested and puts the helmet on.
That's Devil's Rejects.
Fuck. Whatever.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Did you hear the second one?
I did.
To me, that was really quiet. Yeah, okay, so, excuse me. Let's just get into it. Okay, the part where I got a little squeamish is with the plastic wrap and they put it around his face.
And they shot him in the head.
I don't even care what they're shooting in the head. I thought they were going to suffocate him. And that was like, of all the fucking ways to die, that is not a way that I want to die. You could do a lot of things to kill me.
It's even worse when they shoot him in the head, if you ask me. It's like...
Why? That's easy. At least you killed me.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't make me suffocate with plastic wrap. Are you crazy? I know there's a movie like that where they get in the body bag, and he's in the bag. And he's trying to breathe in the bag. And then he gets let go, and he's like, you tried to choke me with a bag. Oh, that's Orange is the New Black. Never mind.
I don't even know.
Orange is the New Black?
Yeah, I know what Orange is the New Black is.
Oh, V? Never mind.
I don't
Fuck
remember.
it.
I'm
Anyways.
I haven't watched that show in a long time.
Yeah, but like that whole suffocation feeling, I'm like,
Oh, yeah, that would suck.
holy fuck. I got a little squeamish. But that whole chant bullshit, I'm like, why are we still talking about this after 20 minutes? And then it's the chase scene. That's kind of cool. But then we're shooting for like 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's awesome. So, I think when John Goodman gets involved, the movie becomes really interesting. Because it's like, I like the kids, the three boys. I like how that goes. But then, like, John Goodman gets involved, and it's like, oh, now it's like a weird... It pretty much becomes Waco. Like, I don't know if you know about, like, Waco, Texas. It's like this, like... There was this cult... I think he was a cult. I'm pretty sure it was, like, religious leader either way. That, like, it was the same thing where the police were trying to get into his house, but he, like, set his house on fire and, like, killed his entire cult.
Holy.
Because it was like, fuck that. But it was like kind of the same idea where it was like a standoff outside for a long time. So it's kind of the same idea. And I'm like, oh, this movie got really interesting. Like, I didn't see this coming. I didn't see this where this was going. I'm like, oh, this got just, I don't know. I thought it was different.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, this whole fighting scene could have, there's a part where he's like, honey, will you go get me a sweet tea? And she's like, yes. And she runs away. And it's like, this whole scene has gone so long that we've gone to asking for tea. Like, just...
You refill my drink for me?
Fuck. And then the boys all got shot? What the fuck was the point of that?
I guess you just don't see
The
it coming.
first kid, sure. I get it.
It's like, what? Oh, no.
I didn't see it coming.
Which one are we talking about? The bigger kid? Like the taller kid?
The first one ran out.
Yeah.
And then, boom.
And then... That's the second one to get shot.
And your buddy got fucking angry because he's like, why the fuck are you shooting him? He was armed. He's like, no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
And then...
It's like he was armed, but he wasn't, like, shooting.
Shooting at you. He's trying to escape. And then the chick was like, please help me. Please help me. So she ran back in to get the kids.
And then she saved the last kid. Because the first kid gets killed because he gets away. But then he gets shot in the head. And then, but the second kid hides under him and pretends he got shot.
Yes.
Too. And then he gets away, but that's when he gets shot running out.
Yes.
Which is like, what the fuck just happened? Like, and that's when it's like, what is going on? And then Kyle Galt. So the first kid is played by, he plays Greg in Succession. I don't know if you ever saw the show. Anybody who likes the show Succession, who likes Greg, he's the main character. Any other day I don't know his fucking name, but for some reason I'm blanking right now.
Just keep talking and you're just going to yell it.
Right.
Bryant!
It is fucking going to be like that. Like, because it's going to bug the fuck out of me because I know his name.
Like the Style Boys again.
And then, but Kyle Gallner plays the last one. But I love his attitude because she's like, help me. He's like, you killed my two fucking best friends. Like, why the fuck would I ever help you?
When he's in the bedroom?
Yeah. I was like, why would I ever help you? Like, I would have.
You could be a witness.
I would have that same fucking attitude. So we just went. I just went and saw the new Planet of the Apes movie. There's like a new one that just came out. It's called Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And the villains. So the villain's whole thing is like, humans are coming back and they're gonna fucking put us in cages. Like, they're gonna try to take over the world again. Like, we
These
have
are
to stop.
monkeys talking like this?
Yes. But it's like,
Okay.
but it's a pretty solid movie actually. But it's like,
Is it James Franco again?
no. He was only in the first one.
That's the only reason I'd watch.
Yeah, no. But this is like hundreds of years after his character.
Caesar. I remember his name was Caesar.
Yeah, so this is even after Caesar. It's like hundreds of years after Caesar, this one. So, but they're like, humans are like kind of starting to get smart again. So he's like, they're going to put us in cages again. Like, we have to stop them. And it's one of those things where like the main character is like, yeah, no, what you're saying is 100% correct. But that same guy literally just killed this character's dad like 10 minutes ago. So he's like, yeah, that's great. You're right. But like, you just killed my fucking dad. Why would I help you? It's kind of that same idea. It's like, I love this kid's attitude. He's like, fuck you. I'd rather die than fucking help you. Like, you just killed my two best friends.
But like, there are surprises where she like shoots her mom and stuff that I was not expecting.
Oh, yeah.
Where I was like, oh. But when I was seeing it, because I want to make sure everyone understands this very clearly, I will reiterate every time. I don't watch trailers for movies. I go in blind. I don't know what the fuck. So when I was trying to find out how to watch it, people were like, oh, the ending of this movie is so insane. The ending. And then I watched it and I went, what?
Yeah, so what...
I missed something, obviously.
What did you think of the ending? So...
what ending? So the horns, that was kind of funny. That he was like, what are the horns?
It's like, oh, it turns out there's a bunch of college students.
He's like, nothing. They just got horns from... What was it? It was a tornado. No, it wasn't. It was a...
Oh, he says it, but...
Anyways, he's like, they're just fucking around. And every once in a while, they just blow the horns.
Yeah, just to fuck with them. So apparently, the original ending for this movie... so in the original script, it was going to actually be the apocalypse. So, like... the horn was going to start, and then it was going to be the same thing where John Goodman... So the cult walks out, and John Goodman's like, what the fuck is that? And he's like, oh, it's the apocalypse. And then what was going to happen is everyone's, like, head and chest were going to start exploding. And then John Goodman was going to, like, hide, and he would be the last one. And then he, like, would look up, and he'd see, like, a giant angel killing them all with swords. And then he would, like... fly away, and then the four horsemen of the apocalypse would show up. And that's what the original ending was supposed to be.
I think he chose better.
Yeah. So Kevin Smith, though, what happened was, after we got the budget, he's like, I got about $5,000 for my special effects. So he's like, all right. Big special effects ending turns into a bunch of dudes talking in a room real fucking quick.
Yeah. Because he does say quite a bit in that room. I forget what, but they had a lot of questions.
Yeah. And
he just answered a whole bunch of questions. But yeah, the horn part, I was kind of like, oh, kind of a letdown, I guess.
And he just goes to jail.
Yeah, and then singing in jail, and then
the
guy's like, shut the fuck up.
Who turns out, it's actually Kevin Smith. The last guy who's like, shut the fuck up.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually Kevin Smith, yeah. I didn't mind the ending. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't see this coming. I thought... for sure it was going to be like, oh, we're just going to have a shootout and everyone's going to die. But, like, that's not at all how it ended. And I just thought...
So they all just got arrested and...
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's your great ending.
I guess.
Awesome. Now that I'm talking, you're like, maybe the movie's not that good.
So maybe this was a bad fucking movie to pick.
You're like,
actually.
you know what? Let's make that a 5 instead of a 7. Yeah.
It's slowly going down. It's like, actually, it's 7 out of 14 at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. There was not a part in it that was memorable. There wasn't I don't remember any of the characters. I barely know what they look like, and I saw this last night. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just one of those movies that I think will just, like my House of a Thousand Corpses, it'll just go in my brain somewhere and go, boo! And I just won't care.
You'll just forget it.
Yeah, it just goes, boop! And it's gone. Yeah, I don't mean to be any negative. Like, the movie is, I love the idea of the cult and, like, I do love the sacrifice idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been a great idea. And I think it would have been better, unfortunately, for me to say this, with either a bigger budget or a better director suited for this. Who does this?
Yeah.
Because I can bet you that a horror director would have walked in and said, well, I know how to do this cheaper because I've already done it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I like his directing in it, and I think it works personally.
Yeah, I think he did absolutely fantastic for... If you showed me that and told me that was Kevin Smith, I wouldn't have believed you until I saw Wikipedia.
It's like, oh shit. Like, and that's what I like about it. And then he decides to follow this movie with another horror movie called Tusk, which I don't know if you saw that.
That's why that was the next recommended.
Yeah.
I never seen it, but I know kind of about it.
Yeah.
You could talk about it.
No. So I'm pretty much done talking about Red State, but I wouldn't mind like just recommending a few other movies if you like this one.
Yeah.
If you like this one, watch other Kevin Smith movies like the ones we talked about. I mean, like we said, Mallrats is amazing. Clerks is fucking spectacular. Tusk is another interesting horror movie. It stars Justin Long and Michael Parks again. And what it is Justin Long plays a podcaster who finds like an ad for a guy looking for a roommate, and the room will be free. Like, it's like a nice house. He's like, I'm just looking for a roommate. I'll pay your rent and your food and stuff, but like once a week, I need you to dress like a walrus and like pretend to be my dead walrus. It's like a weird, and that's so right. Which
what?
Yeah.
Are you talking about?
Yeah. So it's based.
Okay, the fact that you said that with a straight face that whole time, like, yeah, this is normal.
Well, it's
like his dead walrus.
It's based off a true story.
What?
Kind of. So
I love Justin Long.
Yeah.
Him and Dodgeball is my
so funny.
favorite.
So funny.
That's a movie that should be on the list.
That's actually that's a good one.
Dodgeball on my phone.
But no, so this was an ad in a newspaper, but Kevin Smith had the guy on his podcast, and he said he made it up as a joke. It was like a joke that he made up. But Kevin Smith decided to make a horror movie based off of this joke. So he shows up, and Michael Parks plays like a guy in a wheelchair, and he's like, listen, like, he's like, I was in the Navy. There was like a big boat crash. I almost died, but a walrus saved me. And me and this walrus, like, I like took it home, and we like became best friends, and then it died.
You just brought home a
guess
1,000-pound animal.
Yeah. And it's just one of those things where he's like, I just miss my friend, and I just want you to dress like a walrus and just pretend to be a walrus. But where it becomes a horror movie is he starts like slowly turning Justin Long into a walrus.
Okay.
Like
surgically or mind manipulating?
No, like surgically. Like Justin Long gets drugged and he wakes up and like his feet are cut off.
Holy
and, like,
fuck.
Yeah, and it's like they're like stitching his hands to make like fins.
Holy shit.
So it becomes like a weird like body horror movie where like
should have picked that instead of
he's
this
slowly making him a walrus. Well, I think it would have been a good one to pick.
Is this better than Tusk? Yeah.
It's fucking different. They're both really different movies.
It's like that fucking Centipede one. It's like that.
100%.
So it's meant for like grossness, not...
Yes.
This is more like twisted, cool ending. Yeah. That is more like
it's
sadistic.
Fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it gets...
What is that fucking Centipede movie?
The Human Centipede.
The Human Centipede.
Where Tusk goes weird, though. So that's not even the weird part, actually. Yeah. So where Tusk goes even weirder is the second main character is the kid from The Sixth Sense, but like now he's grown up, and what it's about is like, so the first half is that part that I explained, and the second half is his best friend and his girlfriend trying to find him. So, but they hire a detective to like help them find him, and the detective is played by Johnny Depp.
What?
Who's got like a weird prosthetic nose, and he's playing like a fucking idiot detective. And it gets fucking bizarre.
I feel like you're making this up as we go.
I swear to God.
I swear.
This is not made up.
These people listening are like, this guy is fucking pulling our leg.
It's Tusk. It's a movie.
It's just Justin Long going, orf, orf, and that's the whole movie, and none of the other shit happens.
It gets to that point. Let me tell you.
Orf, orf.
Justin Long's orphan.
Holy shit.
It's a weird fucking movie. But so if you like Red State,
Johnny Depp.
I'm telling you, I wish I was making it up, but I'm not.
But it's just, of all the actors you were gonna say, that was not the
Right.
one.
So then there's a scene in the movie in Tusk where Justin Long goes to like a convenience store.
Okay.
And the two girls behind the convenience store, the two clerks, are played by Johnny Depp's daughter and Kevin Smith's daughter.
Yeah, Harley.
Yeah. So Harley, and then Lily Rose Depp. She's like Johnny Depp in a I'm gonna say supermodel. So then Kevin Smith's next movie after that was called Yoga Hosers. I'm not making this up because it takes place in Canada. I forgot to tell you. It takes place in Canada, which is even better.
Hoser, yeah.
Yeah. And it's about these two clerks, these two girls. And they fight like sausage monsters. It's fucking... That movie's...
They fight what?
Sausage monsters? Okay, I've only seen this one time. And I remember by the end of it thinking, I can't believe this got a green light in any... Like, the fact that this got made blows my fucking mind. And then he made Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, I want to say. And then Clerks 3. So Clerks 3 kind of brought him back a little bit, but...
He went off the train a little bit.
But, like, Red State is not as fucked up as those movies. And I think it's... I don't know.
Clerks 3 might not even have been that good. It was only because we're so connected to Clerks 2.
It's true.
I don't even remember what the movie is really about.
I actually watched Clerks 3 again recently. I only watched the first half, though. I want to say I passed out. Not because the movie sucked, just because it was like fucking 2 a.m. But I remember thinking the same thing. I'm like, is this movie not as good as I remember? Because I remember when we went to Toronto to see it, like
VIP screening before it was even released,
and it was fucking amazing. Like I loved it. It was such a good screening.
Yeah. Because I just met Brian O'Halloran, who is one of the main characters.
In Clerks 3. Yeah.
And he who is
he plays Dante.
Dante. I kept thinking Dwight. That's the fucking Office. Dante. And I even said, I'm like, buddy, that I cried like a bitch.
Oh.
And he's like, that means you cared.
Yeah.
And so like we took a picture and we did an autograph and stuff. And I'm not like that with celebrities. I pick and choose like who I really.
Yeah.
But it was because I met Kevin Smith like 2 years or a year prior. And I'm like, oh, I gotta get Brian.
Yeah.
And now all I'm missing is Randall. And he was supposed to be there and something happened. And he couldn't be there.
Bummer.
But I would have got both. And I would have got all 3 signatures on one.
Yeah.
But
so then he's doing a new movie right now, which I'm actually looking forward to. I believe it's called the 4:30 movie.
Tell me it's not a horror movie.
No.
Perfect.
So he bought so he grew up in like Leonardo, New Jersey.
Okay.
And there was a movie theater in his neighborhood.
Yeah, he bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he bought it and made it, he calls it like the Smod Castle. But he has this movie theater and he's like, you know what, I can make a super cheap movie and I own the location. So that's what he's doing. So he made a movie about a bunch of kids in the 80s, like a bunch of like, I want to say like either teenagers, like young teenagers, who they buy a ticket for like an early matinee movie, and like the movie is them just like sneaking into more movies as the day goes on. But then like of course, it's almost like a Dazed and Confused, where it's like they meet girls and stuff, and it's like I don't know, it's like a love story. It sounds like old Kevin Smith. I'm excited, so I'm hoping for the best.
So that's good. Because Clerks 3 I thought was good. But now that I think about it, I think it was good. I would rewatch it again.
Yeah, the back half of the movie is really good.
I just don't remember it.
Yeah.
I remember like the main focus.
Yeah.
But I like the spoiler part. I don't remember though like the intro or anything. I remember them playing ball hockey again on the roof.
Yeah, that's the intro right there.
Yeah, I remember that. That's about it though. Anyways, so this is so random. This was Kevin Smith. Tusk. I gotta watch that fucking.
It's fucking weird.
You're making me like question everything. I'm like, I really gotta watch this movie now because I can't picture Justin Long as a walrus.
Yeah,
I just can't picture it.
it's fucked up. And he's got a little mustache. It's crazy.
You're gonna know me by texting you going WTF, and you're like, she's watching Tusk.
Yeah. That's all I got. So yeah, thank you for watching this though.
You're welcome.
Next time I swear I'll pick a better movie.
No, you won't.
I will, I swear.
Whatever. This was great. Thanks for letting me watch this.
All right. Till next time.
Bye.